guys. I just wanted to come back and show how I made this journal here. I have a couple of them going that I haven't put the signatures in yet. Well, they're in there, but they're not sewn in. They're loose. But, so, what I did, I'm going to need my ruler. I love using this quilting ruler for everything. But, so for this size, it is, let's measure it. We have, this is almost 5, so like 4 and 3/4. 4 and 3/4 long. And then, sorry, well, it would be this way, so 4 and 3/4 this way. And then it is 3 inches this way. So that works out perfectly for the way that I tear out my paper and do my paper. So I seen these on YouTube from oh, who did I see doing these? Roxy Creations. And so I just did a collage just backed on regular printer paper, and that's what I used for these. And I have a bunch of them. I also printed them to use in one of my journals. So I have quite a bit here to use, and I'm going to use them for tags too. So that's what I got, and I want to use this one here for our journal. So I'm going to need a pencil. So let me grab a pencil. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to measure this out, or I could even trace it, but just to show you guys how I measured it, I'll measure it. So what do we need? We need 4 and 3/4 by 3. So what I'm going to do is turn my ruler like this and start at the edge and just draw a line, because this right here is 4 and 3/4, and then 3 inches. So that's why I love this ruler, because it I can do it like that and get a square piece. So what I'll do is I will cut that out with my handy dandy scissors. Set that aside. And we have a piece here. So we're just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna put anything on the back side. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. What did I do over here? I stenciled on the back of that, and I collaged on the back of this one. This one's the one I'm gonna show you anyway, but so you just you can decide now whether you want to collage or put something on this side. For me, I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and round the corners. So they have rounded corners. And then I'm going to, oh, I got a little bit of glue there, but that's alright. Now I'm just going to ink the edges of that. And the spine. I like to ink the spine too. So that's all inked. We'll put that away. So now to do the papers for this size is really easy, and I do a lot of folding. So I just take a regular sheet of paper. This is coffee stained printer paper. And I just fold that in half. Then I fold it back on itself. Do it this way. Then I turn it over and do the same thing. Fold it into 4 equal, kind of equal. And then when I pull it out, I only want to cut right here in the middle. Or no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong way. No, we want to cut all along each line, so we have 4 pieces. So I'm not going to cut mine, I want to rip mine. So I'm just using my nail to kind of make that easier to rip. There we have 4 pieces. Now we take these pieces and fold them in half like this. And then back on itself. Trying to keep my hands out of the way so you guys can see. And then turn it around and then fold it back. And then the only place we want to cut or tear is in the middle. We want to leave these 2 alone because that will make our page. So I'm just going to rip that down the middle. And we have 2 sheets that are going to fit inside of our journal. So I'm going to do that to the rest. Maybe my TV's too loud. I'll turn it down a little bit. And then just rip that down the middle. And then we have 2 more sheets. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sheets. 8 sheets. But it's a good way to use up one sheet of paper. So, for video purposes, I'm just going to use these 8 sheets. I'm going to put them all together. And I'm going to try to round the edges of this too. I'm just going to do my best and give it a little round edge. It's okay if it looks wonky but there's our little round edge. And then I think what I'm going to do is put it through the sewing machine. So I will go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went and sewed them both the ones that I had. I sewed them with the sewing machine right down the middle. Oh, you can see them? That's what the back looks like. So this one, I'm going to show you how I would stitch together, just using a pamphlet stitch. So you want to make sure all your, this is thick too. This has more, a lot of pages in it, and it's got also an envelope. So this one, you just want to make sure that all your papers are together and that it's centered inside of your book. And I have some paper clips here to hold that in place. I don't know, I'll put one on the bottom just to be extra safe. Hopefully I'm in frame here. So get your awl out. And I just guesstimate where I'm going to put the holes, but I'm going to put one right there in the middle. And I hold my book so that it's kind of somewhat closed when I put it in there, so it'll go through to the spine. So I'm going to push that through. So there's our first hole. And then I'm going to come down a little bit and put our next hole right there. Well, maybe on that line. And like I said, hold your book kind of so it's closed and push through. And then we'll put the bottom hole. So there, we got our 3 holes. And then take your, I have wax linen thread. You can use, actually I'll use my black. I think that'll look good with it. Or embroidery floss or whatever you have. I just like this because it's not going to break. It's very, very sturdy. And I trust it. So I like using that. So I'm going to do the length of the book 3 times with my thread to make sure that I have enough. And then thread this needle. So I start in the middle and I go in from the inside out. And pull that through, leaving a little tail. And then I come back in through the top. And then go back through, or down through the bottom. And then back up through the middle. So when we come up, we have one thread on this side. We want our thread to be on this side. If I can get it up through there. There, so it's on the opposite side of the other thread. So we pull them tight. So we have it like this, and then the other one's down the middle. So we want one here, one here. I'm sure I made that clear. I said it 3 times. I repeat myself so bad. And then we're going to tie, I like to tie 4 knots. Just to make sure it's going to stay. I'm sure 3 would be enough, but I like to do 4. Well, maybe 3 will be enough, because we don't want too much of a bump there, I guess. So yeah, 3 will be enough. So, sometimes I like to leave my threads long, but for this, I think I'll cut them short. There, so that's how you do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And that's what it looks like in the back. So I decorated this page already, and I sewed 2 together and made a pocket up top here, so that you can put a tag in there. And I did a little punch too. I don't know where I put it. Oh, a little heart punch. Oh, and I forgot to cut the envelope so that you can put stuff in it from this side. So we'll just cut a little bit off there, and that way you can get stuff in from this side. And I did a little heart punch there. And another pocket, full page pocket there. But I don't know whether to show how I decorate this or not. This is some beautiful cabbage, purple cabbage dyed paper. Oh my gosh, that come out so beautiful. The colors in it. I also did some guest checks. Look at the colors. I mean, just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah. And I have a whole nother half of purple cabbage in the fridge that I gotta get used up. I cook it and then I eat it. So let me put you on pause for a minute and I'll decide whether I want to decorate these or not. So I just figured out we're going to need a little closure for this. So I chose a little button, a little blue button that I thought would go well with it. And I think I'm just going to sew that onto the page. And then on the back, maybe I'll cover it to reinforce it. We'll see. We will see. So we'll get some thread and a needle. And we'll sew that into the paper. I'm going to double my thread. Tie a knot on the end. So we will get to sewing. Haven't done this in a while. And I think I'm going to put lace on the other side so that we can tie the lace around the lace around the button. And then on this side, I'm just going to weave the thread through just to kind of reinforce it. And I think what we'll do is cover that with some paper. I don't want to pull too hard because I don't want to rip the paper. Yeah, we'll put some glue down and reinforce that. So there's our little knot. There we go. All right, what can we do there? Let's see. So I found just a little strip of